slide, we'll talk through at a high level, typically how an AP process is run. And that is surprisingly, in many organizations we see, still very paper heavy. So a lot of organizations are still receiving their invoices through emails, then printing them off, having piles on accounts payable staff's desks, that those members of staff are then keying information into those systems manually, and then pushing those invoices around the business through unsecure email, or potentially walking those documents around and leaving them on people's desks for approval. So with the DocuWare solution, we're able to reduce data entry time by 95% through using the DocuWare application. So we're monitoring email boxes for any emails that are potentially coming into an AP at or an AP member's mailbox, and we're automatically extracting that information from that particular document. So no need to rely on people to sit there manually keying that information in and potentially making mistakes. Once that information is captured, we're then making some decisions using the business logic in DocuWare around which process that document needs to take. So using integrations into third-party systems such as ERP systems, we're able to look up to see if there's any supporting documentation which allows us to push that invoice through the approval process. So do we have a goods receipt note? Do we have a purchase order? Have we received all the goods? If the answer is yes to all those questions, then automatically we are creating a booking record in DocuWare for that invoice to be passed into the ERP system. If the answer is no, then we may need to follow a certain approval process. And this can be based on the value of the goods, may need to go to multiple approvers if it's high value. It can also depend on things like GL codes, so which part of the business needs to validate and approve certain invoices from certain suppliers. And again, by adopting a digital workflow, we're able to reduce that approval time by up to 70 to 80%. So a huge saving in efficiencies for any organization. But key to this, and following through the kind of topic of this webinar, is compliance. By adopting a digital document management system that will allow you to process invoices electronically, you have full control and full visibility of all the invoices in your system. You're able to limit the access to particular documents. So it may be that not all staff have the necessary security credentials to be actually view those invoices, but more importantly, it allows you to be audited remotely. So for example, we speak to customers a lot where they don't want to have a conversation with us because they've got the auditors in, and that can take days, sometimes weeks. Well, in the example of an organization that's adopted DocuWare, they can give their auditors a secure login that allows the auditor access to the digital document management system, meaning that their time is no longer taken up by having those auditors on site once a year.